Okay, hello, good evening. Yes, it is the awaited moment. Kind of. It is time for us to address this resounding issue as of late. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. And welcome to the very first, I'd say, episode of my so far solo podcast here at the PicaPad. This is Tekken 8. Is it fun? Yay or nay? So hello everybody, welcome. Yours truly here. Now all we're doing is spreading word of our stream. This is gonna be fun. It is gonna be quite a talk, not gonna lie. So hopefully you guys can stick around for that if you are able to keep some of your time. If you are able to lend me some of your time, that'll be great. We can play ever so slightly today. Ever so slightly, that is. But the primary topic for today, and again, this is the PicaPad, so this is more on discussions, and I hope you guys can stick around with me on that. It's gonna be fun. I feel this is gonna be fun. How are you all doing? Hey! Hello, Violofa. Good evening. How are you doing? How are you doing? I am going to answer some of the questions that have been plaguing the community as of late. And I know it has become quite the subject of controversy for some people, myself included. And everything will be strictly opinionated. So please do not ever forget that. It will all be based on opinion. Hello, Edward. Yes, of course. Because why won't that be the question? Hello, Ray Ash. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Thank you for following me here. This is going to be a hot take for a lot of our viewers. But my question first and foremost is if I am audible, if I am clear, so that we can continue speaking about this topic. This is going to be amazing. Please let me know if it is audible and clear now. This is the least fun I've had with Asuka, even with the 2 or so years of stagnance at the end of Tekken 7, says Edward. I completely sympathize with that in some areas, in some aspects, right? Asuka, for one, is a character who has received the bad end of the stick here at Tekken 8. Props though, much props, Edward, because you are standing your ground, at the very least. But again, let me know how the audio sounds, if the background music is annoying or if it's too loud, if it's too faint, so that we can talk about this flawlessly. And please do try to request songs. I do not mind. As long as it doesn't disrupt our vibe. Okay, so how should I say this? You come back.
It's just gonna say 30% then just.
I'm not gonna be able to look at that. But again, yeah, I'll wait for more people to drop by so that we can continue with the PicaPad. Sorry, that was Jules. Yeah. It's more than an elephant, actually, in the Tekken community. It's more than an elephant. It is a mammoth of an issue, or at least a mammoth of a comment from the Holy Knee himself, aka the GOAT, right? The GOAT of all time. You know, the redundancy that some people are talking about. The GOAT of all time. But yes, I think it goes without saying that people have been torn by the idea that Tekken 8 is in a bad spot, and in on the other end, you know, on the thicker side of the bat, Tekken 8 is doing marvelous. It is doing, and all pun intended on that Lee Chao Lan, but that they feel that Tekken 8 has a lot to offer. But now we're gonna look at some factors, right? And I'm not gonna come clean when I say that I belong to some of the people who think that the game is not at its best state yet. Yet, keyword, very important keyword is yet for me. Because there are so many things to consider. New stream design, it's for the podcast actually. For the podcasts, the PicaPad right here. Hello, John. So I always use this when it's a very light stream or when I don't intend to play that much, if at all, right? So to me, yeah, just say hi to the 48-inch. But yes, I feel that the game right now is not really at a point wherein we should withhold this as the final version of the game, honestly. Because we've seen this happen before. Titles have their alpha, beta versions. They have their closed network test versions, at least for Tekken. And they have the arcade version / the vanilla version of the game. At this point, we can't even tell. We cannot even decipher which state it is. But I'd say it is safe to assume that we are currently at what is the equivalent of an arcade version of Tekken. Right, of Tekken 8. So that being said, I feel that, I don't know, maybe just maybe we can make it so that people will still have fun in the game at the same time waiting for the better version to come. And here's the catch, right? Here's the catch. Tekken did not hold back on making a tournament or making tournaments. As a matter of fact, we already have a world tour under this version, these versions at least, of the game that passed all the way to what we have now. We are gonna have Evo in 4 days, maybe less. Tekken 8 came out in the time of virality information literacy. Much of the content appealed much more to the mainstream than previous installments, from character development of the story to easier move execution. That's one way of looking at it. And here is where things get even harder to dissect bit by bit. You see that yellow font, the yellow text rather, on the upper right side of your screen, from here, right, from where I'm pointing. There are some variables to consider when it comes to whether or not Tekken 8 is fun in a subjective sense. Hoy, I see you. What's good, George? I know you see me. I saw you last night, GG's. So, yeah, there are some factors to consider in whether or not Tekken 8 is fun or not, at least for some people, because obviously, the crowd has been more than divided in this topic. They have been absolutely livid when it comes to Nee's claim, right? For lack of a better term. And prior to that, we had Arslan Ash also voicing his sentiments, right? He has voiced out what he thinks of the game, I'd say weeks ago, maybe even a month or more ago. And this is from a world champion himself. So that being said, there are really some synonymous responses from people all over the globe as to whether or not Tekken 8 is doing good. Okay. So now I'm starting to see some answers in the comments, and please keep them coming. Please share the stream if you will, so that we can have this topic go around, right? So we can keep talking about this. One. Okay, let's go to the points right here. The factors of whether or not Tekken is fun. Tekken 8 is fun right now. F Tekken 8 says Lan. Okay, you're free to chime in and give us your feedback, Lan. Hello, thank you. Welcome to the stream. So let me give you a shout out real quick because you are on time. So shout outs to Lan, of course. Now, casual player attraction. I would be danged. I would be danged if point number 1 hasn't been achieved yet. Because by goodness, did it work masterfully. Casual player attraction for Tekken 8 probably has been the best in the franchise after all these years. I have never seen hype from any Tekken title as much as Tekken 8. Yes, even Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I just summarized all of your 8 points. I know that's pretty much what you said there in 3 words. But again, all points are considered here, right? As long as we don't violate each other's opinions. We're just discussing. So, casual player attraction, absolute 100%. They've achieved that, right? After being overshadowed by Street Fighter in terms of recognition for years, exactly. There were times where in Tekken was kind of buried, if not at least overtaken, right? And I nearly hit ruler. That's definitely a problem. We're gonna get to that. Tekken 8 is just a coin flip. 50-50 zone match. Defense isn't necessary. And then again, we're gonna talk about that. I feel that those points are gonna be within number 2 and number 3. Okay? Because I tried to make it so that these pointers right here are again addressed. And they come in sequence as to whether or not they relate to each other. So, casual player attraction, there's nothing else to say. They succeeded in doing that. Which leads us to number 2. To point number 2. And boy, am I going to hear a lot. Competitive/professional scene. More aggressive plan than skill for Tekken 8. With a variety of streamers that haven't touched much Tekken. Absolutely. I was in one of their the mixers here in the Philippines as well, wherein content creators who want to commit to Tekken have merged, and they tried to actually also make competitive teams, or at least have the idea of doing that. While that's not, and don't take my word for it, while that's not into fruition yet, people have been formulating ideas coming off of a casual standpoint all the way to professional or competitive, right? So imagine that. So the success of point number 1 can translate to point number 2 being competitive or even professional. So again, they've succeeded in attracting new players. Zero knowledge all the way to meh, and again, it's safe for us to assume that eventually they're going to be competitive. And that's where it all starts, right? If you attract a lot of the casual players, eventually they get so invested in it that they start being competitive, they start taking the game very seriously, and fingers crossed, they might even go pro if time and effort permits them. Okay, so now let's go to number 2, right? Let's cast aside a little bit of the casual part of it, like the casual player. Let's put that aside for a little. The competitive, because if it was somebody else, listen to this. If it was somebody else who voiced out a tweet that needed, no one would bat an eye, dude. No one would even look at that general direction. They're just gonna keep scrolling, right? Let's be real. If it was somebody who played Tekken just at the very cusp of Tekken 8, at the very start of Tekken 8, they're a new player, dude, that phone's gonna keep going. Everybody's phones are gonna keep functioning without that particular tweet or any other comment, right? Let's be real. But since this is the vantage point of somebody who has put Tekken on the map, everyone's gonna look. Everybody's gonna listen. Everybody's gonna take notice, right? So that's why we're having this conversation in the first place. Because to some people, that's valid. To some people, it's get good. And I cannot believe I saw those two. I cannot believe I saw people say get good / adapt / adjust, so on and so forth. I cannot believe my ears that people would say that entirely out of just being one-sided with that perspective. And again, it's valid. It's valid. Everything is valid. I just could not believe it. It's like they never thought about that. It's like saying Mike Tyson. It's like teaching Mike Tyson how to punch. Honestly. Yeah, exactly. Imagine telling me to get good. And the funny thing is, some of these people were actual Arslan fans, and I have nothing against them both, by the way, are actual Arslan Ash fans and did not take notice of his prior tweet. To him, when it comes to Arslan, people would say, oh no, don't worry, King, you're gonna get your footing back, right? It's in the early stage of the game. I know you're gonna adjust very soon. And when they see Nee's tweet, they'd be like, get good. How is that a smart approach towards, towards Tekken 8? How is that a constructive conversation? Right? If everything is it's so double standard. Imagine telling Arslan Ash, say for example, telling Arslan Ash that it's okay, you'll be fine. You're gonna get there. You just need a little bit of time to adjust. And when Nee says the same thing, he voices out his sentiments. They'd be like, nah, you're washed. Just get good. Adjust. Yada yada yada. Wow, right? That's what we're dealing with. That's what's so funny. Now, let's piece it all together. No Arslan, no Nee, just the idea, okay? Just the idea of competitive and professional scene. So from the very start, we've already heard Harada say that Tekken 8 is going to be an aggressive. And again, that's what people have been living with. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go, George, do it. But it's just the idea of aggression. So while that is really how Tekken 8 was promoted, I do not believe that that's the only way to play the game. I did say this before. I don't know who among you guys were on stream when I was still streaming Tekken 7 and people were asking me, Coach, what do you think of the aggression? Do you think it's going to be catered to beginners? Yada yada, like this and that. Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. I said that. Which proves that number one is just a snap of a finger. It was successful. No question there. Casually, it attracted people. And people, I did say that too. There will be people who are going to beat pros. I don't know if you guys could remember that, but I told you that before. There are going to be people, sorry for the term, never seen people before. Like absolute casuals or at least average at best at the time who are going to beat pros or very established players already at the very beginning of Tekken 8. Honestly, that's gonna happen. But in the long run, probably by the tail end of Tekken 8, the pros or the players who are still fundamentally based or carried by the neutral, the forever formula of Tekken, if I can say that, of neutral, basics, fundamental, smart Tekken, right? They will prevail. That's just my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents right there. Hey, Lusol. Hello, there he is. You're just in time for the discussion. Can't beat the neutrals. Absolutely. I'm not saying I have the best neutral for me to speak like a hypocrite. No, I understand how the game goes. I mean, there's a reason I at least became pro, right? There's a reason I'm where I am, just to be real. And that's not me tooting my own horn. It's just me being honest, right? Because I understand how the game works too, and that formula has worked for me and my brother and my students as well, all the way to today, right? I feel that Tekken with brains, right, with numerical calculations, with the study of the science of the game thereof, is still gonna prevail. It just so happens that the way the Tekken 8 is now, everything becomes a flip of a coin, a roll of the dice, RPS, not even 50-50. I'd say the game now is at 33.33 each time. Every situation is at 33.33%. So it could go really all right just by one wrong decision, right? So now that attracted point number one. It attracted point number one. Ooh, maybe if I made the right call at this point, I just might make it. I just might win against a player who thinks and guesses wrong. That's not bad. At least for them. For them, that's not bad. Right? So, it made sense that casuals like that idea. I don't have to exert so much brain power if this game will reward me for being brave. Not so fun right now. I understand. Exactly. And that's from a Dragunov player as well. Right? So, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The game, people have been so invested in winning, rather, right? People have become so invested in getting results, right? In getting desirable. And again, that's my keyword, desirable results, right? Desirable results so that they can continue playing it. I mean, you know how that goes. Play. Lose one. Okay. And then the guy wins. I lose, and then I lose again. And then again and again and again. And they'd be like, F this game. Right? I don't mind 50-50, just not when everyone has it. Secondly, plugging still has no punishment. That's right. We're gonna go to that. We need the dopamine. Defense focused gameplay from Tekken 7 is just rip. Yep. Not so fun. So many unexpected abnormal hitboxes. That's what I'm saying. It is so fresh. The game right now is at its, incubation state. Most of the characters being homogenized to emphasize aggression is what makes the game both stressful and unappealing. That's right. See, this is what we're talking about. From the standpoint of somebody who's been playing Tekken, at least competitively already, it's not appealing. It's not appealing, right? Because everybody is basically the same character with a different skin, with a different form of BS that they'll bring to the table, but the logic is the same. You know what I mean? Everybody is just reskinned as a different character with the idea all being the same. I poke a little bit. I go in ever so slightly. I just take a few shots here and there. Boom, I use my heat burst. Now we're playing. Now this is Tekken. Right? He just takes his hand and then rolls the dice a little bit and voila, there we go. If it lands on the right numbers, I'm good. If it doesn't, sucks to be him. And this is considering that the whole game has been info-based. Considering that leading to the first guy who pulls the trigger of the heat burst has been getting information. Listen closely. Say, for example, first 10 seconds of Tekken. Oh, man. Okay. I got it. Right? Whoa. Okay, so I get a jab in. I get some pokes in. Yada. Boom. I get a low. I land a hatchet. And then the other guy could not take it anymore. Voila, here's my big sword. Okay, here's heat. So, with the heat burst coming into play, that's the only time it becomes Tekken 8. If you get where I'm coming from. Because the whole sequence up until that moment that heat burst comes out, it was just Tekken. Right? They were still kind of using this. There was still a bit of involvement when it comes to brain power. But the moment that you see that zoom in, oh no, the animations, right? All the cinematics. Manual heat engage shouldn't be armor. That's one of the demands of people. But to me, it's okay to have it armor as long as it's 0. Yeah? 0. Not +1, not +2, 0. And you never land in crouch. That's me. I don't mind heat. I don't mind having heat. I do not mind the idea of heat. 0. Right? Because in my opinion, if you activate heat not from a move, not from an engager, you manually go to heat. If you manually go to heat with a heat burst, it means 16 frame homing mid power crush. Exactly. The moment you pull the trigger on heat burst, this is just my opinion. After you're taking pressure, you gave in. That's what I feel. That's what I think as well. Pressure. I press the big red button over here. You know that meme of a superhero? He has 2 buttons in front of him, then he's sweating. He has a handkerchief. In my opinion, the other button says Tekken 8 and then the other says Tekken. You know what I mean? Because those are 2 different things. So that's what I think. Tekken, few seconds in, oh, whoa, check. Information gathering, yada. I can't take it anymore. Bam, press the red button. heat burst. So that alone is it's a get out of jail free card, right? And that right there is already a game changer. It's a table turner, if you will, because mid pressure the opponent will stop, he loses his turn, right? And now he has to think. Okay, now it leads me right back to point number 2, the competitive and professional scene. Because again, everything that I said, players back then, they spent so much time thinking. People who went to the professional scene or competitive scene, they exercised reading so much, right? I once sidestepped someone all the way to the back, and when they heat bursted, they literally rotated. Yes, it happened to me too. Steve Fox, he'd be like, right? He goes like this, and then he turned completely around. Like, I'm not even kidding. So that's what I was talking about. Now, because competitive players and competitive players and professional players, they have the advantage of all that experience, all that knowledge of years and years in play to just read sequences over and over again. And they already have the upper hand. Pretend that they already have the upper hand. Tekken 7 metered character is way too fine than Tekken 8 heat. In a manner, that's true, but we're going to get to that in a bit. That's on point number 3, balancing. So all of that build up only for the character to press that nuke, by the way, to press on that nuke button, and that's, mind you, that's just the launch button. That's not the detonator yet. But the layout is fire here. Hey, thank you. This is for the talks, right? So basically, the moment that he pushes that button just for the launch, right? This is to launch the nuke. It hasn't landed on the target yet, right? And some characters have bigger nukes than others, and we're gonna get to that in balancing. So that's what I'm talking about, right? It already kills the professional sense or the competitive sense of the game. Sure, it's fun because there's a guessing game, but it kind of takes out the knowledge check out of everything. It takes out all the reads, all the information you gathered earlier just because of a get out of jail free card. Now, while a lot of competitors and basically professional players have adapted to this already, it doesn't change the fact that some characters are still naturally crutched. Or they're naturally carry characters, which leads to balancing. Raven's heat engagers are literally nukes. Some of them, yes, I actually agree. But there are more, believe it or not. Let's go to balancing. Okay? So, let's also backtrack a little bit on the first, for those of you who just tuned in, thank you so much. I want to show you the tweet, in case you missed it, where all this talk came from. Here he goes. Please look right here. Okay. So yesterday or the other day, Nee tweeted this. Tekken 8 is not fun. I'm gonna read it for you guys. Aggressive is actually just an absurdity. I think I haven't adapted to the game. As someone, I've been doing this since Tekken 1. So far, Tekken 8 is a lot of things I cannot understand. A lot of people, again, they had the nerve to say, and again, it's okay. That's their opinion. It's just my baffled self. Say that me should get good. I cannot believe my ears, dude. Multi-champion, global champion. The man who literally put Tekken in the esports scene, I would dare say. Bringing the attention to the FGC. Nee, right? Since Tekken freaking 5, at least he said he played Tekken 1, but since Tekken 5 has been a global household name, tell him to get good. I get pissed at grabs when it screws my flowchart. I usually sidestep when I get hit by the spring kick because usually the follow-ups are linear. True enough. So Nee is pointing out the bugs like the tracking grab sidestep should be buffed but become useless than 7. Yes. That's one. That's one of the factors I feel that Nee is pointing out. Bugs are always going to be part of the game. In Tag 2, there were times that some moves, if you press tag with it, from being a linear move, it becomes tracking. So there are some instances that are like that. I feel that there are some properties in Tekken 7 that really need to be addressed. Remember the thing that I posted as well? In 8, my bad. There are some properties in Tekken 8 that are really confusing, really stupid, really inconsistent. I posted about that. With the bare hands, the Kuma and Panda. If you mash the left grab to punish a rage art, it doesn't work. At least for Devil Jin. But if you mash the right button or the 1+2, it's always gonna work. Yeah, probably the casual player saying that I have no idea who he is. That'd be so funny. And here's the thing. Maybe not casual. Maybe a competitive player from another game migrates to Tekken. And that's all right. You know, because they're probably naive. And they think that, oh, I feel that I can play Tekken 8 now after all these years that I've put up with 2D games, that everything is 50-50. For me, I think the game mechanic itself is super duper fun. But there are so many times I just have to accept that I just need to guess to stay alive for another mix-up player. Precisely with Mario. Thank you so much. Let me give you a shout out. And we're going to talk about the thing very soon, right? Very soon. Okay, so please follow with Mario if you haven't already. That man is a man. What? You get what I mean. So, but a stupid bunch. Yeah. Hey, Brownie. Okay, so let's talk about that again, right? With the amount of new things that we are expected to see in Tekken 8, some of them really do not make sense. A lot of them do not make sense, actually. Running moves that are mid that can be ducked. That's another thing. We've seen that on Zafina. We've seen that on Yoshimitsu. So some of these things are really, again, as Dee said, absurd, right? And if Tekken introduces a meter character for 8, I think it would be best that they have no heat. Yeah, if they do. Right now, everybody has meter, right? And I stand by my claim that, again, I'm so sorry, it's still catered to the weak. Because look at what it's done to the people. Look at what it's done to the community. There are some players who have zero knowledge of the game, reaching an immensely high rank just because. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but if, say, you're a company who wants to invest in getting a professional player, and just because, say, X player, he won his locals, right, because of like this and that, like this and that, this character like this and that, and then that character, and then the guy, okay, you're hired. You son of a gun, you're in, you know, stuff like that. Just because. And then all of a sudden, boom, that character gets nerfed to the ground. Players already signed. What now? Right? It makes a dramatic switch, a dramatic change of pace, a change of dynamic. Hey, Rebby, there you are. Hello, Ribisca. Thank you for following the stream. A good friend of mine over here. We have Ribisco, so I'm going to give her a shout out. This is going to be an intense topic, honestly. Spicy Little Chickens. Gotta love the name. Hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Rebby is, she's, I am here for the intense topic, and as well you should be, right? Okay. I don't know what the analyst of Bamco is doing. Yeah. And please do stay. I have been following the T on Twitter. Yes. On X, basically. So, now, we're already at the bullet point of competitive professional scene and balancing. So there are some topics here that we need to be a little bit more thorough with, right? So here, granted that the game is still at its very fresh incubation stage, right? It's still trying to ripen itself up. It's sad because we have no choice. Players have to stick with the competitive essence of Tekken. There are tournaments left and right, and it's bound to happen. Man, if you are a player who's been waiting for Tekken 8 for 8 years, man. 8 years of this new game. Naturally, you look for a tournament right away. And the developers are banking on that. That people will look for a tournament right away. And lo and behold, right? It didn't take more than 2 months for the Tekken World Tour to be announced. It's already here. We're already on it. In a few days, EVO's gonna start. A Master Plus event. Master Plus, I think. Yeah. Master or Master Plus. Right? So imagine that. People have undergone 3 patches so far in a game that still, in my opinion, is yet to be balanced. Completely. Like, right now, the game is like it's basically like a flat line. You know, it's a heart monitor. It goes like this. And then some weeks, oh, it's a Reina week. It's a Dragunov week. And then it's going to be a Jack 8 week. And then yada yada. And it's going to go straight. And then it's going to be a different character again. What's your opinion that Tekken Online to not allow players with subpar PCs to play? Okay, we're going to get to that. Because that belongs, in my opinion, in return of investment. Right? And game longevity. We're going to get to that. But I feel that I feel that it already. I've seen the discussion lately. Yeah, I'm one of the people who believe in my, just me, that it's really not for everybody. For all devices, at least, I want everybody to play Tekken. I want everybody to try and play Tekken 8. The problem is hardware can only do so much. It's like saying that you're trying to put a 357 round in a 44 Magnum barrel, right? Or you're trying to put a rifle round in a submachine gun mag. That's that's what I'm trying to say. It's incompatible at some point. You want to shoot somebody, but you can't really get the bullet that you want, right? So it's in a manner there has to be that sense of acceptance that, man, my PC's not ready. I can probably play it, but the other guy will not. And I know that some people have been turning a blind eye on this. Some people know that their hardware isn't cut out for Tekken 8, but the benchmark barely made it in to the minimum required specs, and that's good enough for them. Success of Tekken 7 had a lot to do with how compelling the majors were all throughout. That's right. That's right. So imagine that. And again, I want people to play Tekken 8. The problem is, me and a few other casters have been talking about this too. I paid good loot for my hardware to function so that I get the best game experience. But it doesn't. It doesn't work. Some people, they just don't want it. I've seen, by the way, currently me and my brother, we are in God ranks. Like we're in gold, upper gold. There are still Wi-Fi players, man. There are still Wi-Fi players. You know what that means? There are people who made it to minimum Tekken King. Minimum Tekken King has Wi-Fi. So that alone is already something to worry about. Thank you for that topic, George. I appreciate that. And not even PS5, man. Consoles, PCs, man. I've seen it. You got ran over. Hey. We're not talking about that. We don't talk about that right now, George. All right? But yeah, case in point here is that big check on casual player attraction. That's already good. Competitive, that's where it's going to start to feel different. Competitive players or professional players, we catch them on stream. They lose to some people who, again, I'm so sorry for being honest, not even in their original leagues, but it just so happens that the game is catered to aggression. And while people are saying they should adapt, and they are, the benefits of their years of knowledge seem to have gone out the window. Simply because it's easier to damage here, it's easier to revert pressure, it's easier to execute a lot of things, right? So now that leads me, it's like ATL now, a very inconsistent result each week. That's right. And again, there are people who I have not seen in my life that just really get some few wins every now and then. Get to a certain rank with little to no matchup knowledge. And this happened in Tekken 7 too, and I'm not afraid to say it. Dude, I've seen Ana players reach God ranks with no matchup knowledge or punishment and yada yada. And not to mention how effective a character can be played aggressively varies. That's true. Some characters cannot be as aggressive as another character. King players too. In Tekken 8, yes. Dude, in Tekken 7, there are some characters who you can go ape with and reach Tekken God Omega with. Right? And there are some characters who, wherein my hair will literally turn white for good just by thinking about playing them. More so in 8. I actually have, believe it or not, I actually want now a time limit when I play ranked with. I'm guilty in some fights. There we go. There are some moments wherein I admit this, I acknowledge this, that I want to keep my mentality sane. You know, I want to keep my mental state in check. That's why sometimes I try to buy as little time as I can going a rank without the stream. Because I don't want to impart my stress and my angst, if ever I do have that on stream with my followers. See, thank you for following the channel. I appreciate that. You did not follow me, or maybe unfollowed me and followed me again. I don't even know. I'm feeling here in 8. Ganun pala ako kalaban. That's not really true. But you unfollowed me and you followed me again. I thought we were friends. I thought we were childhood buddies. Thank you for following. There are a lot of people reaching God ranks in 7 at the end of the game when it meant nothing. But that's happening at the beginning of 8. Yes, that's true. In Tekken 7, there were people who became late bloomers and got to God ranks when everybody was already up there. All the formidable threats. Yeah, I know. I was kidding. But there were people who already made it to God ranks, Omega ranks at the tail end of Tekken 7 when everybody was gone. That all their problems are already were done with. Yeah, cherry picking. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I should put that on others actually. I think. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna edit this real quick. I think we're gonna put that here, George. That's a very good. That's a very valid. That's a very valid bullet that I can. Yeah, I'm gonna put ROI plus on game longevity. So here we go. What I'm gonna put here is plugging one and dones. Cherry picking. Yeah, there we go. Those are great topics. Thank you guys. Okay. Having said that, here we go. Now let's. Oh man. Okay, that's a bad yeah, typo. Okay. Reznovich, hello. Thank you for following the gym. Hi, my name is Pica. And Spicy Little Chickens as well. Thank you. My name is Pica. I'm a Tekken professional from the Philippines. I do commentary. I do analysis. I'm a coach as well. I was a former pro player. I do other games, but primarily I am Tekken based. Thank you. I've been streaming for 3 years. Been on Twitch for about a year and a half. I'd really appreciate that if you could tell your friends about this. Can't even get used to players and their style. For now, maybe. Limited 3 games max. There's a good thing about that, right? People have been eventually, trained to try and be faster adapters or like faster adjusters, so that in a tournament setting they'll be better, they'll be snappier, right? And while that's okay, I find that that's unnecessary because it loses the integrity of long sets. Now we can never get a long set, right? With something at stake between 2 players, they have to lobby for it. They made it first to 2 to stop boosting, and people still exactly. And the more chicken people became because of this mechanic. Oh, I can tank 2 losses from one guy, right? I can tank 2 losses from one guy and get it from somebody that I can take, right? So that's why the skill ceiling is not gonna improve for some people, right? Because now they're free to cherry pick. Hello Esper, welcome to the stream. Thank you. Okay, so let's go back to balancing, right? Now let's talk about what Edward also said. Depending on the goal, honestly, I think it's fun. Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna get to the end of that. I think it's fun because combos are more expressive, but other than that, that's just straight up, bruh, dude, if you want to go with expressive combos, I think some characters in Tekken 7 have more creativity. That's just me. Tag 2 was chock full of creativity at the expense of gameplay. That's exactly what happened. When you get demoted or you're on promotion the next one. Yes, that's true. Okay, so balancing. Dude, I will look at anybody straight in the eye right now and tell me that Dragunov is fair, that Azucena is balanced, that these characters are honest to God right now, and that they are not putting you on their shoulders, right? Okay, so that is just me being real, dude. That's just me being real. I've seen a player now, an Azucena player, by the way, who literally presses every time he gets hit, reach Tekken God Supreme. I am not even kidding. But sweats a lot. Exactly. They should be Jordan Peele sweating right now, man. Or freaking like James McAvoy wanted sweaty, anxiety induced type of reaction, right? My combo game is my best asset, but neutral and defense not so much. I probably know that guy. Asia 2, that's 1. There's an Asia 3 too. A lot of Asia 3s actually. So a long story short, there are people who absolutely have itchy fingers, and because of the because of the privilege that aggression per se and character imbalance, in my opinion, gives them, they reach heights that takes players with actual good mental fortitude weeks to months to get. Right? Dragunov ain't that bad. He's easy to deal with. Yeah, I know. I heard somebody say that too. They'll probably lie, but sweats a lot. Yeah. But you see, that's the point. And if you find a character easy, these busted characters easy to deal with, chances are you're using a character that's also busted. Not even joking. I'm not even kidding right now. Becoming 2D based on limitations? Probably, but I won't say just yet. Again, my keyword is always yet. Everything that I say right now is still a yet, you know? Matchup is less important and people are more focused to just attack and press, at least for now, right? This is what I've been saying. Yet, for the time being, this is what we're dealing with, right? But now I also understand why heat is placed at the beginning of a round and not acquired at the end. Imagine if you had heat and you need to come back and you have regenerative health. Now that I understand now. Back then, I was so against the idea that you have to get heat, that you have to acquire heat. But I realized that you have regenerative health and other 2D games don't all have that, right? Now, without heat, your responsibility is to get your health back if you get damaged. And if you burn your heat, that's your problem. Now I understand that. When I started looking into Tekken 8 even further, now I realized that it makes you a more responsible player if you have heat at the very start of the game, not at the very end. And XP if they're more around in sidestep because majority does they move around. Yeah, you see, now I feel that the game is going to be more strict when it comes to movement. I said this before. They buffed the sidestep, nerfed some of the backdashes. To some characters, not really. They're untouched. But it's because that's probably their best asset or one of their good assets, right? I can really tell a player who plays properly just by the way they move. Trust me, if they backdash properly, if they sidestep the right way, so on and so forth, the checklist goes on. And you can tell how they got to that rank. Right? And this is not me crapping on anybody. It's just the truth, though. And it hurts, doesn't it? Like, heat engage regen should be at a percentage of your degree health instead of a fixed number. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. But again, that's the downside of where we're at now. Some characters heal more than others, right? And we know who those are already. Yeah, exactly, Vialofa. You see, that's why I feel that the game right now it has become really catered to casuals, because if they cannot catch a good stepper, all they gotta do is grab, right? If whoa, me, I'm a Steve Fox, dude. I'm a Steve player. I weave to the right because I read you correctly. I weave here and whoop, let's go. You grab me. I'm back to the middle. And I have to press, actually. I have to escape. Right? Imagine that. Imagine how brain dead that is. Right? So here I am. I'm Steve Fox. My main asset in the game is I can sway. I can go to the left or I can weave to the right. I can even go back. I can jump back now thanks to the Tekken 8 mechanic, but dang, if I move to the side because I'm right, because I'm correct, I had a hard read that you would grab me or do something ridiculously linear. If I get snagged by the grab, oh man, 7-frame escape window. Right? And not to mention, they never brought back the old grab mechanic wherein you should escape according to the actual hand of the grab, at least for generics, right? Yes, it's me too. Because Tekken 8 has more elements that you have to think of, right? So what does this mean? Balancing wise, I feel that Tekken 8 is so far from being competitively balanced. Right? No, there are formulas that there's some formula that I found that will help people slowly not drain themselves, just to slowly exert energy, at least for some characters. Okay, so balancing, just to check out number 3, not yet, dude, not even close. We're not even close to balanced in this game yet. I've seen other games. They're more busted than where we are now. But dang, Tekken 8 is catching up in my opinion when it comes to imbalance. Imagine DF1 tracks tracks both sides for A-tier characters. Yes, some characters, right? Eddie hasn't been fixed yet. The DF1 tracking both sides is insane. Azucena's DF1 also being really good. It has high crush at some point is also absurd. I cannot weave any side as a Steve actually on Azucena's DF1. It has to be a preemptive weave, not a reactive weave. So I have to call out that DF1 before I weave. Yeah, I'm serious. Eddie's DF1 tracks both sides. It's been all over Twitter. Okay. So balancing, nada. We're not there. It's not fun in terms of balance. Victor, you cannot weave anything. No, with Victor, you can. I've seen some, Matthew. There are some. But the bad thing about Victor, in my opinion, is as a Steve, you cannot launch anything. We are just really in the infant stage of this game. Hopefully the direction this goes after Evo and somewhat for all players. Let's see that. Let's see how that goes. In Tekken 7, I felt that the worst matchups reasons are because of how strong certain moves or mechanics encounter a character. But in 8, it feels like how they utilize the entire system is what makes them top tier. Very good point. Above your character when your hit mechanic isn't as intimidating or is even practically negligible. True enough. So let's go to Edward's sentiment here, which is true. Asuka's heat is absolutely negligible, man. True enough. Asuka with heat is basically Nani Wagusto, unlimited. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's just Nani Wagusto and then some. That's exactly what it is. Right? Whereas, so yeah, exactly. With Brian, it's the same thing. It's just unlimited snake eyes. Right? Claudio, here's the thing. In my opinion, Claudio has it best because Claudio's access to Star Burst is very, very practical. He has so many moves that can enter it like that, and he still benefits from it even without heat. That's why I feel that Claudio is a hidden top-tier character, but still very hard to use because he is skill-based, right? Even Leroy. Dude, people don't even use the cane now. I'm not even joking. People don't even use the cane anymore. It takes a certain Leroy specialist or an OG to think of the cane. Yes, that's my point. Exactly, Edward. And here's the thing about Leo. The reason I never mentioned Leo's installs is because Leo on her own is good without the installs. Right? Gracer, thank you for following the channel. Basically, I don't think Leroy's canes. I don't see. Leroy's canes. Claudio is one, if not only without any stance. He does have a stance. It's Starburst. There are no characters in this game anymore without a stance. There is not a single character in the game anymore without a stance. Everybody has a stance. At some point, everybody has a stance already. The only guy that doesn't have a stance is Dragunov. I'm not even joking. It's only Dragunov. So did you unfollow me and follow me again, Gracer? I remember seeing you here before. Direction input based stance. That's... He does. Well, yeah, because it's an install. So, Brian has the same mechanic. Can sneak count as a stance? Yes. Actually, no. It's motion. Sneak is motion. Because Shaheen's sneak step or stealth step is a stance because it's actually a stance. With Dragunov, QCF, it's a motion. It's not necessarily a stance. Like Leo. Leo has two stances and motion. So that's, that's a completely different thing. With Jack, he finally has Gamma Howl. Yes, it's a motion. It's not a stance. So with Jack, it's Gamma Howl, right? Originally, that character is gonna be bland as hell if he didn't have a stance. But now, he has everything. Yeah. Right? Okay, so balance-wise, again, we're done. Now, let's go to our hand-rubbing topic for today. The Giga Chad stance. Plugging one-and-dones and cherry-picking. Yes. I'm looking at every single one of you who has the conscience to actually plug. Right? There are other 2 points here that I can actually forgive, for lack of better term. Because the repercussions are on you. One-and-dones and cherry-picking. Those last 2 points, I cannot believe there's also somebody in a certain Facebook page Who said, oh, I can choose who I want to face. It's not a crime. Bandai Namco shouldn't ban me for picking somebody who I feel I could take. Really? You play ranked thinking that you will win everything. You know what that is? That's a party. That's a party idea. That's a party mechanic. What do I mean by party mechanic? Or like that's a house gathering mechanic. Oh, I'm the crap. I am the shiz amongst all my peers right here because I ain't beaten. I didn't take no L, you know? I didn't take no loss. That's what you're thinking. In ranks, dude, you are going to sink. And if you don't ever get demoted or you never felt the wrath, right? If you've never felt the wrath of risk of demotion, then you're gonna get stuck at sucking in this game. I promise you. If you've never felt that tightness in your chest because you have to fight for your rank, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's whatever. That's his gimmick, and it's on him. And again, that's just me speaking out in this matter, right? I dare even say that LTG is really just doing this because that's the facade that he has, right? Because that's the image that he wants to establish. But dude, you people, and you have the nerve to post your rank. You have the nerve to publish it. I finally reached Fujin. After so long of grinding, of being hardworking, I finally get to Fujin. After the many plugs and cherry picks and one and dones from guys I could not take easily. My goodness, dude. Imagine that. That is amazing. Right? And they'd be like, oh no, it's my system, it's my PC, it's my console. Why is my goat molding? Nah, I'm not your goat. I'm not your goat. We're just talking about the Tekken 8 fun. Hello, Beppy Spang, what's good? Okay, so yeah, that's me. That's just people be saying, why do I not have the right? Why do I not have the right to pick people who I can prey upon? And maybe, hopefully, I get better because my morale is still at the same level, even higher, on picking on someone weaker than me. It's like saying, kid, hey boy, I'll give you $10 if you stand right in front of me and let me bro kick you in the face. A 10-year-old kid, right? It's basically what you're saying right now. If you would give that kid $10 because you see that an actual guy who can take your bro kick, right? Them shit, it went off, right? But if you tell a 10-year-old to stand in front of you, or you pick out of a group, you pick a 10-year-old to stand in front of you and you would bro kick him in the face and he can't do anything about it. That's you. There's even win one and dones. Yes, exactly. Too many. Because they flake out if they're scared of their playstyle being downloaded in the next match. Exactly. See, this is what I said back in Tekken 7. There will be a lot of runners in this game because of the first two mechanic. They feel that the first game they can't take it, they're leaving. I promise you, and they won't get penalized for it. Dude, okay, in defense of South Korea, they're so scared of our connection. I'm not even joking. I cannot blame them because the moment they see Asia 3, they're already in dread that the connection is bad. And I've already given up hope on that. Trust me, I already have. For the most part, I'd see Japan stay because they have a steady 4-bar. What's the topic at the moment? This is our topic. Is Tekken 8 fun? Okay, let's get back. Okay, so I think we're swerving off topic here for me being too emotional on this matter. But plugging one and done's cherry picking, not really making the game fun. At least I do, dude. I would even say both ways, both for casual and competitive. Can I be real? Can I be real? It's the low rank players, man. I'll be real. The low rank players, majority, some if not all. One and dones are justified if there's no guarantee of a stable, non-stutter rematch, but that's about it for me. Yes, dude. Again, like I said, Bepis Mang, this is why I feel that it's valid. This is why I can justify. I'm fine with one and dones and cherry picking ish. Cherry picking is where I stay the longest, right? Because people, if you don't want to get good, that's on you because you're a cherry picker. I'm fine. But the plugging, though, the plugging is absurd, man. South Korea gets up to 150 ms and 3 miserable rollback frames. Yes, I'm fine with that. If they say no to me, the only valid plugs are the no contest. That's true. Power outage, honestly. Right? Because we can't control those things. But dude, people who literally want and plug because they're done. The round is done. Right? The round is done for them, or the game is done for them because I sucked at that game. I'm leaving you. Right? Because my morale has been stepped on, has been grounded to bits. I'm plugging. That is chicken crap move, dude. Like legit. Okay. But people screenshot the start of the game when they get comboed. Exactly. That's a thing. That's really a thing. And that's part of, I'd say that's a stupid strat. Someone cherry picks in rank. It's very simple, Hiccup. Very, very simple. I'm here to listen, says Dropout Candy. Hey, there you go. Shout out to you, Dropout Candy. One of those are SK server, even the ping is 30 ms below. Yeah. Okay, so where was I? Plugging. Where was I? Oh, cherry picks, rather. Sorry. So cherry picking, it's very simple. You feel that you cannot take your opponent. Jeppy, shout out to you, man. You feel that your opponent, the opponent you have right now, is someone who's already whooping your butt, who can take you clearly. You leave after the next match. Cherry picking, which translates to to either plugging or one and dones. Right? So you can Alt F4, by the way, and I don't encourage people to do it. I swear in my life, if I find you, this is gonna be so far up your hole that you are gonna start cuffing every time I open my fingers. So. And he accepts it. Exactly. So here, moving forward, that's how you cherry pick. So it just really translates to all of these actions. So now ROI and game longevity. So this really kind of just leans more towards the people who are in charge of the game, the developers. The return of investment for Tekken 8 is probably already broken even, if not exceeded already. Right? So is it and here's what's fun. I'm a man of integrity. Time for me to Alt F4 set and Richie. Hey, Bepis Mang, take a screenshot of this garbage right here. Take a screenshot of this heathen right here. Alright? That is going to my story. This man right here, he was so close to Alt F4ing on that demotion risk last night. Do it. He was a I'm just kidding. You put JK, it's so easy to remove that, dude. It's just one slash of black. It is one pen slash away. Yeah. No, I mean, it's all good. It's all. I'm just kidding. Me and George, we're good. But yeah, return of investment. So when it comes to when it comes to return of investment, I'm pretty sure, or maybe I'm just assuming, right? Judging by the sales, Bamco has already either broken even, or even got better, got more out of their investment, right? Which will also be good for the players in the long run. That's fun, if you ask me. At least for someone like us in the professional scene. I got shot immediately. So let's talk. No, not yet. Based on computation, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Which again translates to game longevity, right? They're gonna keep selling, more so when other characters come. So, on the developer side, I know that that's fun because the game will still sell moving forward. Number two, for us who bought the game, the ROI is good because if we already have passes, at least for season 1, right, we're good for the next few DLCs. And the game longevity, we already have the base game. All we gotta do is buy some more DLCs. That's not bad. Okay, so that's fun. That's okay. To some games, it's way more expensive, right? They already in the green on the first week. Like, dude, even offline TV got to more season and then got their thousands of audience. Yes. So when it comes to ROI, I think Tekken is good. It's really fun both ways, developers and audience. I think it's done, and it's good. We're gonna go there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the game giving you the return of investment. Because think of it this way: if you have Tekken now, it leads you to becoming a pro. Just like, honestly, if I'm gonna be able to share what happened to me and my brother, that's what happened. The ROI from playing the game a lot got us to where we are now, and I'd say the same for other pros as well. ROI of getting Tekken and having that long stretch, the longevity of your career because of your purchase, then you're good. Their marketing was genius. That's right. So I think that's fun, right? I think that's fun. Sure, it's a bit pricey. Tekken is an investment, but if you're gonna get that money back because of maybe again the career you make, your tournament winnings, right? And if you buy it now, say for example there's a sale, you buy it now, and there's already a deluxe edition, you're set for the next X number of years. That's okay. That's pretty okay for me. And that's still fun, right? Okay, so number 6 is a very controversial take in my opinion. Competitors, right? What do I mean by competitors? Not the players, no. Rivaling games. Rivaling games. One, the game, I'll be real, this is also a heartbreaker. One of the titles that suffered the wrath when Tekken 8 came out was Mortal Kombat 1. I think the enjoyment factor is ridiculously good for the casuals and it's super replayable, which is honestly the ROI they should be seeking. Very good. He's right. Bep is Mang. Bep is Mang is there. He said it perfectly. The ROI is the fact that casuals already bought the game and they love it, right? So they've already broken even at least in that aspect, right? At least in that sense. If the newcomers nowadays, the internet, where is the start button? Is definitely on the main. If they ask, where's the start button, right? You know that it worked. You know that it worked. So competitors, I'm gonna go back. One of the titles that suffered so much when Tekken 8 came out, at least in the first few months, was MK1, and I'm a fan of that game too. Why? Because MK1 was marketed well at some point, really good hype, but the game came out dealing with almost the same problems as what we're dealing with now in Tekken. Right? It just so happens that it's taking a lot. It's taking a big crawl for MK to get their footing back because the damage was too much. GBVS Rising got hurt also literally a month after Tekken 8 came out. If I remember, they sold 2.8 million during the first month. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're gonna get to that stats, but I know they did get millions out of it. Okay, so the competitors, my KOF 15 is deep 6th in the middle of the. I understand. So competitors wise, Tekken succeeded, right? And it's fun because us who are Tekken loyalists as well, we've already trumped out the competition. Be real. When Tekken 8 came out, you barely had time for other games. Be honest. At least MK1 is John Cena. I'm a fan. I played that. I played Peacemaker, dude. I played him. The moment he came out, I was so happy. When Tekken 8 came out, almost everybody had no time for everything else. For anything else. Us included. It's our job, essentially. No one cares anymore when the rollback net game's dying already anyways. Yeah, that's the truth. It was dying even before Tekken 8 was out. There's no question with game longevity. Absolutely! Because it's fun. It's already good. And my question is, when it comes to game longevity, are you willing? Here, this is a topic I was talking about with Brownman and Sweetest JP yesterday. Is it okay? Is it right for the game to keep updating? Granted that there's a world tour. Look at that. We tackled so many points just with that one question. Is it okay for the game to keep updating almost monthly while we have a world tour going on? Right? Because imagine if they tweaked it less and you have to deal with an Azucena while running 3-2 for a year, bro. Imagine if they don't update that. You're gonna deal with basically a knee and an elbow for a whole year, bro. Until the end of the world tour. Right? So, right? Game longevity, I'd say we're in a good spot. But again, it has to be back to point number 3. Balancing. People are gonna love the idea of the game being long as long as there's balance. As long as there's continuous updates, changes to the system, so on and so forth, right? Because dude, if the game stays the way it is, if the game becomes bland, if the game stays like this forever, there's no reason for you to keep playing it, right? Let's be honest. What's up, Kyojin? Hey, it's all good, man. How you doing? So yeah, that's just my take. That's just what I feel that should be addressed here for Tekken 8. That's just me. If you want to keep the game long, and the people, yeah, if they don't balance, people will leave. Exactly. That's right. Here comes why arcade version was an advantage for vanilla version. At some point, yes, but people also waited for console because they know that it's still gonna be balanced. King was busted in the vanilla version, man. It was horrible. It was so bad. Anywho. So, I think the problem for Bamco now is how to make their in-game purchases appealing to the masses. That's another thing, man. I'll put that in others. In order to pay for the balancing team, taking the time to look at things and do their job, they need DLCs and fight passes to be delicious. That's right. They have to adapt to the current esports phase that people buy battle passes, season passes even, right? In-game purchases, that's appealing. That's magic, right? Bandai, to make the game fun, we must nerf Leroy. Leave that man alone. So yeah, that's all I'm saying, right? For you to have a solid return of investment, also buff Dragunov. Hey, Dark and Petus, I'm looking at you. I know where you live. But for you to, for people to like the game, for people to understand that what they did, buying the game at this state, and for the game to last longer, you need to balance. You need to penalize plugging. You need to penalize one and dones and or cherry picking, one of each. I don't know. And it has to be a field of balance for both the competitive and casual. But again, it's just me speaking out of my butt here. It's too much to ask. We can't have that all in one go, right? This is just my assessment. This is just our opinion. We can't have all of that. It can't be a perfect game just like that. Let's just be patient. Because back then it was publish it, forget it. And you can work on the next project. Now, because there's this constant need for balancing, that's time and money, which means they need a constant cash flow. Fair enough. You need a source of income to pay your team. The fact that they made the pass $6, but you can't buy $6 worth of coins and fortune to buy 10 is shady. Yeah, I get you. Don't make a pass when the game is barely 3 months old. I get it. They should tie in-game purchases with the Tekken World Tour prize pool. That would get me to buy the crappy battle pass. Again, to each their own, right? To each their own. You're not obliged to buy the battle pass. No one's obliged to buy the battle pass. We're okay with that. But again, that's why I put it in others. Because in-game purchases are a turn-off on their own, not making the game fun, but it's still subjective. Because I've seen people actually buy. And they don't really give a. You know what I mean? They don't give a Farquad. Okay? They will buy it just because. They need to make their in-game purchases good if they want people to buy that. That's true. What I don't like about the BP is that it's recycled content. Yes. True. It's nostalgia, isn't it? I'm just gonna, the only thing I wanted the BP is on the free side. That's right. I don't even like anything from the BP. If Roger Jr. is on the BP, I'll buy it. But please don't. Make him DLC. Okay. So yeah, we're good. Competitors. It's safe to assume, man, Tekken has trampled almost every other fighting game so far in the world right now. Right? So that's just me. That's just me speaking my mind when it comes to competitors. It should have been cool on Reese costumes or something like that. Yeah. One only reason I bought it is because the pass pays for the next pass, but I regretted it immediately. Again, I know this because I did Call of Duty Mobile Battle Pass purchases. So I know the feeling. Make a billion other offline accessible content. Dude, an exclusive banner would suffice. An exclusive banner, that's really stand out, eye candy type of thing, would be great. Make it holographic or like animated. That's good enough. In my opinion, if you have a battle pass, emblem, or maybe even a plate, you know, in the beginning of the screen that's animated, that actually moves as a battle pass reward for you purchasing, that would be fire. Because people will buy that. Imagine in the loading screen, you're the only thing that moves. The one on your screen is the only thing that moves, right? So that alone is, I feel, that's a good reason for you to buy a battle pass. Why attack modders who make skins? Doesn't harm anything. Because it actually jeopardizes the game, George. I understand that too. The reason why Street Fighter V's microtransactions were kind of okay because they had some cool costumes and clothing lines, right? At some point, modders benefit more than the developers. I kind of get them on this one. Or special stage animation only for your screen. That's another. But I feel that mods also jeopardize the game's quality. Some people complain because their side of the screen, I'm one of them. I lag because my opponent has mods. Apparently that does something to you as well. Right? Moving character portraits. There we go. Thank you. I'm not the only one who thinks that. Right? Dude, even your panel. A character panel that moves. Fire. Dude, if I even see, I'm as much as I'm not a fan, dude, even if I see Azucena sipping on coffee, right? Sipping on coffee, or like a gathered panel that's all their intros or endings. Tekken 6 had that, and the loading times were messed up. Yes. But again, that's maybe technology. Maybe technology will allow that to happen now. Hopefully. Like 2D animated and stuff. Yeah, like probably like a cinematic. Just my take. You know how the Marvel opening credits look? Something like that. Maybe just a loop. A loop of some intros. A loop of outros maybe. That'd be nice. Honestly. Custom King announcer all roars. Why not? Old school health bars and announcer. Hey, that's good. Dude, Tekken 4 life bar. That's that's not a mod, right? Stuff like that. Okay, so now let's move to... Yeah, and dude, actually that's right. Very popular memes that made it to the Tekken community. Why not bring that up? Why not have exclusive? Right? And art. We've already done art. So... Or we will change the color of our health gauge, not border. Again, all of these can be part of the battle pass if you're willing to pay for it, right? Okay, content. Now, when it comes to content, I'd say Tekken 8 is already going... Okay. Hey, that's funny. That's funny. Now, here. I am torn on number 7. Two things. One, Tekken 8. Fresh content for everybody. So that means... Dude, I upload stuff almost every day. Actually, I do every day. If you look at my page, there's almost something there every single day. A photo, a stream link, right? Videos. It's fresh content for everybody. That goes without question. So for the casual and competitive, you have amazing content possibilities. Now, this is where I'm so torn. Giving replays for free access. Free access for everybody. It hurts content creators too. There are channels who benefit from these replays more than the players. Huge risk. Huge loss of content originality. Yes, precisely. Dude, I'm a victim of content theft at least once. Honestly, once. Because the one with Hira is not really content theft. It's probably idea, you know. I just don't want to say it. But, yes. Hey, Zatoshi. But yeah, I've been a victim of that, dude. I'm watermarking everything. I put my damn license in there. Honestly. But, yes. Dude, exactly. Dark Impetus. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's not just one channel. There's a bunch of them now. There's a bunch of them already. So that being said, the benefit of content creation is not fun for people who want to make original content. Let me review your content with your credit card. Whoa. Hey, don't be like that. But yeah, realistically speaking, it's not fun Tekken 8 so far, at least the way that we have replays now, is not necessarily fun for people who want to make original content and have a scheduled publishing, you know, if that makes sense. If their content gets stolen every single day, if the videos are free for public access and they get monetized for it, and you don't. Oh my gosh, dude. No wonder people are just streaming already. No wonder people are just streaming. At least this way, everything can be patented, everything can be theirs. People will just stream everything. They have their faces on in there. Their socials are heavily pasted. And the game gets smaller so that, you know, their watermarks are all over the place. Maybe even their chat. Right? So in a manner, I feel that it's no fun when it comes to monetary content creation yet, unless that's actually done, right? I don't get monetized for the content I publish. I just want to publish it because I want to teach. I want to publish content. I want to get traction, right? And dude, I'm a speck in the community. In my humble opinion, the global speck of things. I am a smidge, and yet somebody will still steal an idea. You can't even have Tekken 8 songs up because you get flagged, right? And then everybody just snags videos, man. Change the thumbnail a little bit. Put some overlays. And that's their video already. You know what I think? There's one way of doing this. To secure content creators as well. This is just my take. Allow replays only to friends. Or actual Steam friends and or contacts. Allow replays for those who are only within your circle. That's just me. Right? Or you can only allow it against your opponent, with your opponent. This way, it's gonna be a mutual agreement between you and your opponent that, hey, can I publish this? Experimental with the content ideas, but I don't know, I'm just spewing nonsense. There's nothing wrong with that, Peppi's man. The problem is, even I know friends who are the managers of players and content creators of foreign players. It's hurting their channel. The top best character player ranked matches. Yeah, right? But that's my point. Easy content, right? Even if you're not the top, they just put your name in there. Dude, I've even seen RGN. I've seen RGN be a topic of somebody else. And I doubt that RGN even knows that. Right? So anyways, in my opinion, it hurts the originality, the integrity of content. Content creators of trying to publish their own. Because before they even make that video, someone already did it. Right? In terms of content, I'd say we're on the no fun. For now. Right? It's fun because you have a lot to go around. You have a lot of you have a lot of content to go around, but security that it's your own, I don't think so. I just saw some random YouTube channel called Need the Former. Yeah. Are you here, Jules? Okay, yeah. I know he said that. He actually said that. So yeah, I mean, if we're gonna cover the others part, I feel that there's a lot more bullet points. Hold on, I'm gonna mute real quick. Yeah. Whoa, purple. Yeah, 50 cal. I'm actually about to end the stream, unfortunately. Let's raid somebody. What topic we in? Sorry, talk with someone. It's okay, Brownie. We're on the topic now of... Actually, we're done. We're already covered others, but I feel that we can continue this on another day because I want to cover the other tweet. Let's try to continue this tomorrow, by the way. Okay. It's okay, no problem. How about Bamco recruits official Tekken content creators and have buyers of the Tekken shop use as creator code to buy stuff? That's not a bad idea. Okay? The others can actually be a topic for tomorrow. I haven't covered the other tweet. I want to cover that tomorrow, so please be here by then. It's going to be within the day. I know some of you are going to be attending tournaments, right? But for those of you who can't attend, I'll try to make it early. Okay? If not, I'll do it on Sunday. Sunday might be a better time. Okay? So, yeah, for me, all these factors that we've been talking about, they're really contributory to why I feel that Tekken 8 is so far not yet fun. Not yet 100% fun. There are so many things that need to be considered. Let's raid one of our friends. Is that Chip? I think I saw Chip. Ah, dang it. He left. Who do we raid? Who do we raid? Can we raid Batsu? No, 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 no. King J. Let's go raid King J. Creamy Caldereta. Hello, hello. Yep. I get you. I get you. All right. Let's raid King J, guys. Can I? Okay, I'm sorry. Here, I'm about to literally type raid King J. Can we raid? Yeah, let's raid King J. Okay. So, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Clip that. All right. So, yep, thank you, guys. I appreciate your time. Let's continue this on Sunday. Thank you for all your viewers. You guys have been amazing. Much love. Mwah. Peace.